Galveston Island in 1900 was a bustling hub of activity. The streets were alive with the clatter of horse-drawn carriages and the chatter of people going about their daily lives. The port was a hive of activity, with ships arriving and departing laden with goods from all over the world. It was a time of prosperity and growth for the island city. It was known as the Wall Street of the South. The financial district was a testament to the city's economic power, with banks and businesses lining the streets. The wealth generated here was unmatched in the region, making Galveston a key player in the southern economy. The city boasted a thriving port. Ships from around the globe docked here, bringing in goods and taking out exports. The port was the lifeblood of Galveston, fueling its economy and connecting it to the wider world. It was a gateway for trade and immigration. People from all walks of life arrived in Galveston, seeking new opportunities and a fresh start. The city's diverse population was a melting pot of cultures and traditions, adding to its vibrant character. Galveston was a modern marvel. The city was ahead of its time, with modern buildings and infrastructure that rivaled those of much larger cities. It was a beacon of progress and innovation in the early 1900s. It had electricity, telephones, and paved streets. These amenities were rare in many parts of the country, making Galveston a pioneer in urban development. The city's residents enjoyed a quality of life that was the envy of many. These were rarities in many parts of the country. While other areas lagged behind, Galveston was forging ahead, embracing the future with open arms. The contrast between the city and the rural areas was stark, highlighting Galveston's unique position. Life was good in Galveston. Families enjoyed leisurely days in the park, and the streets were filled with people shopping and socializing. The city's vibrant social scene was a testament to its prosperity and the happiness of its residents. The people were proud of their city. The future seemed bright. Galveston's residents took pride in their home, celebrating its achievements and looking forward to a promising future. The city's success was a source of collective pride and optimism. Little did they know a storm was brewing on the horizon. Despite the city's prosperity, dark clouds were gathering, threatening to disrupt the idyllic life that Galveston's residents had come to cherish. This storm would change Galveston forever. The approaching tempest was unlike anything the city had ever faced, and its impact would be felt for generations to come. Galveston's location on a barrier island made it vulnerable to hurricanes. The city's geographical position, while advantageous for trade, also placed it in the path of potential natural disasters. However, many residents believed a major storm couldn't happen to them. They had weathered storms before and felt a sense of invincibility. This complacency would prove to be a grave mistake. They had weathered storms before. The city's history of surviving past storms gave its residents a false sense of security. They believed they were prepared for anything nature could throw at them. This confidence, combined with a lack of accurate weather forecasting, would prove to be a fatal mistake. The technology of the time was not advanced enough to predict the true severity of the impending storm. The stage was set for disaster. The combination of overconfidence, inadequate preparation, and the sheer power of the storm would lead to one of the most devastating events in Galveston's history. In early September 1900, the world was on the cusp of a significant event. A tropical storm began to form over the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean. At first glance, it seemed like just another ordinary storm, one of many that formed during the hurricane season. People went about their daily lives unaware and unalarmed by the brewing tempest far out at sea. However, as the storm moved closer to the Gulf of Mexico, it began to gain strength, growing more powerful with each passing hour. It wasn't long before this storm transformed into a full-fledged hurricane, with fierce winds and torrential rains. This hurricane would soon become a monstrous force of nature, one that would be remembered for generations. In Galveston, Texas, Isaac Klein was the resident meteorologist, a man dedicated to studying the weather. He was a respected figure in the community, known for his expertise and dedication. As he observed the storm, his concern grew. The patterns he saw were unusual and troubling. Reports began to pour in, telegraphs and messages indicating strange weather patterns and anomalies. Ships at sea were being tossed by high winds and rough seas, struggling against the growing fury of the storm. The storm was not only gaining strength but also changing its course, taking an unexpected and dangerous turn. It was now heading straight for Galveston, a city unprepared for the devastation that was about to unfold. On September 8, 1900, the hurricane made landfall. It struck Galveston Island with terrifying force. The hurricane's winds reached an estimated 140 miles per hour. These winds tore through the city. They ripped buildings from their foundations. The storm surge was even more devastating. A wall of water over 15 feet high slammed into the island. The water engulfed homes and businesses. The hurricane raged for hours. The once beautiful city was reduced to rubble. The storm surge swallowed entire blocks. Survivors reported seeing rooftops poking through the water. The scene was one of utter devastation. As the storm subsided, the true extent of the devastation became horrifyingly clear. Galveston was almost completely submerged. Buildings were reduced to splintered wood and broken bricks. The streets were littered with debris. Bodies of people and animals lay scattered amidst the wreckage. The stench of death hung heavy in the air. The storm surge had reshaped the island. Sand dunes were gone. The coastline was altered. Galveston was no longer recognizable as the bustling city it once was. It was a wasteland. The Galveston hurricane of 1900 remains the deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history. An estimated 6,000 to 8,000 people lost their lives that day. Entire families were wiped out. Their stories were lost to the storm. The human cost of the disaster was immeasurable. The storm left thousands injured and homeless. Survivors were left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives. The task of rebuilding seemed insurmountable. The emotional scars of the disaster would linger for generations. The people of Galveston faced the daunting task of rebuilding their city. It would be a long and arduous journey. The spirit of resilience burned bright. Determined to honor the memory of those lost, they vowed to make Galveston stronger than before. One of the most ambitious engineering projects in U.S. history was undertaken. Galveston Island was raised. A massive seawall was constructed to protect the city from future storms. These measures were a testament to the city's determination to survive. The Galveston hurricane of 1900 serves as a stark reminder of the power of nature. This catastrophic event, which claimed thousands of lives and left the city in ruins, is etched in history as one of the deadliest natural disasters in the United States. It also highlights the importance of preparedness and heeding warnings. The residents of Galveston had little to no warning of the impending storm, which underscores the critical need for effective communication and timely alerts in the face of natural threats. The disaster led to significant advancements in weather forecasting. In the aftermath, there was a concerted effort to improve meteorological tools and techniques, ensuring that future generations would be better equipped to predict and respond to such events. The U.S. Weather Bureau was reorganized. This reorganization aimed to enhance the accuracy and reliability of weather predictions, making it possible to save countless lives and reduce the impact of future storms. Regional offices were given more authority to issue warnings. This decentralization allowed for quicker, more localized responses to weather threats, empowering communities to take swift action in the face of danger. The lessons learned from Galveston resonate today. They serve as a powerful reminder of the need for vigilance, preparation, and the continuous improvement of our disaster response systems. As climate change increases the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events, the importance of disaster preparedness cannot be overstated. Communities around the world must learn from past events and adapt to the evolving challenges posed by our changing climate. The story of Galveston is a story of resilience, reminding us that even in the face of unimaginable tragedy, the human spirit can endure and rebuild. The city's recovery and ongoing efforts to fortify against future storms stand as a testament to the strength and determination of its people.